Imagine a world engulfed in social inequality and financial crisis, a world ripe for revolution. This was France in the late 18th century. The French society was divided into three distinct classes, or estates. The first estate, the clergy, and the second estate, the nobility, enjoyed immense privileges. They held key positions of power and were exempt from paying taxes. Then there was the third estate, comprising of everyone else, the merchants, the laborers, the peasants. They bore the brunt of taxation, carrying the weight of a nation on their shoulders, all while facing dire poverty. France's involvement in the American Revolution had left the nation's coffers empty. The nation was bankrupt, yet the royal court at Versailles continued their extravagant lifestyle, oblivious to the hardship of the common man. The people were hungry, their pockets empty, and their patience wearing thin. The contrast was stark, and the resentment palpable. Meanwhile, ideas were brewing. Enlightenment thinkers like Voltaire and Rousseau were challenging the status quo. Their writings spoke of democracy, of a society where every man was equal, where no one was above the law. These ideas seeped into the consciousness of the Third Estate, igniting a spark of revolution. The king, Louis XVI, in a bid to solve the financial crisis, called for a meeting of the Estates General, a legislative body consisting of representatives from all three estates. However, the voting system was skewed in favor of the privileged estates. Each estate had one vote, meaning the first and second could easily outvote the third. This was the final straw. The Third Estate, representing 98% of the population, was not about to let the nobility and the clergy dictate their fate. The stage was set. The time for revolution was now. From the storming of the Bastille to the rise of Napoleon, the French Revolution was a time of tumultuous change and radical ideas. Let's begin with the storming of the Bastille. On July 14, 1789, the Bastille, a royal fortress and prison in the heart of Paris, became a symbol of royal tyranny. Its fall marked the flashpoint of the French Revolution. The common people of Paris, fed up with their dire circumstances, seized the Bastille, liberating its prisoners and securing its ammunition. This event was a loud and clear declaration to the monarchy. The people would be silent no more. But the revolution was far from over. The Reign of Terror, a period of intense violence and political turmoil, would soon follow. From September 1793 to July 1794, France was ruled by the Committee of Public Safety, under the leadership of Maximilien Robespierre. The guillotine became a symbol of this ruthless period, with public executions becoming a grimly regular occurrence. Robespierre's radical policies, however, would eventually lead to his downfall, and he met the same fate as many of his victims, at the guillotine. The execution of Louis XVI was another pivotal moment. The once absolute monarch was tried for high treason and crimes against the state, and on January 21, 1793, he was executed, marking the end of more than 1,000 years of continuous French monarchy. With this act, the revolutionaries sent a powerful message. No one, not even the king, was above the law. Finally, we arrive at the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. In the power vacuum left by the revolution, this ambitious military leader seized control, eventually declaring himself emperor in 1804. While his reign echoed elements of the monarchy the revolution sought to dismantle, Napoleon also cemented many of the revolution's reforms, spreading them across Europe during his conquests. His rule would shape France and Europe in ways that resonate to this day. In the midst of chaos, a new France was emerging. It was a France shaped by the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, principles forged in the fires of revolution. The events we've explored today, from the storming of the Bastille to the rise of Napoleon, were key turning points in this transformative period. They marked the end of an old order and the birth of a new one, forever changing the course of history. In the heart of the revolution, three ideals emerged as the guiding principles: liberty, equality, fraternity. These weren't just words scrawled on a flag or shouted in the streets. They were the lifeblood of a nation yearning for change, the rallying cry of a people refusing to bow to tyranny. Let's delve into how these ideals came to be. Firstly, liberty. It was not just about freedom from the oppressive rule of the monarchy. It was about the freedom of thought, of speech, of the press. The freedom to exist as a human being with inalienable rights. This ideal found its voice in the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, a document that dared to assert that every man was born and remains free and equal in rights. Then comes equality. The French Revolution sought to dismantle the old order where birthright determined one's future. It was a call for the equal distribution of opportunities, justice, and rights, regardless of one's social standing. This ideal was championed in the public debates and assemblies, where for the first time commoners had a say in the destiny of their nation. Lastly, fraternity. This was the spirit of brotherhood that bound the revolutionaries together. It was about solidarity and unity, about standing together against their common enemy, the oppressive old regime. Revolutionary art of the time, such as the iconic painting "Liberty Leading the People," embodies this ideal, depicting people of all classes united under the banner of revolution. So what began as a struggle against oppression transformed into a revolution that championed the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. These ideals were not just revolutionary, they were evolutionary, reshaping the social and political landscape of France and setting a precedent for future revolutions around the world. These ideals would forever shape the course of French history and beyond. The French Revolution didn't just change France, it changed the world. Picture this, a powerful wave of social and political change born from the heart of France, spreading outwards to touch every corner of the globe. The French Revolution was that wave, and its impact was far-reaching and profound. In France, the revolution ushered in a new era of social and political reform. The monarchy was abolished, and the country morphed into a republic. The feudal system, with its oppressive class distinctions, was dismantled, and a fresh political landscape, built on the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity, emerged. But that's not all. The revolution also delivered a blow to the institution of absolute monarchy throughout Europe. The sight of a powerful king being overthrown inspired other nations, sowing the seeds of revolution in their hearts. Suddenly, the prospect of challenging the status quo didn't seem so impossible. Across the Atlantic, the ripple effects of the French Revolution were also felt. The revolutionary ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity resonated with the newly formed United States of America, bolstering its own fight for independence. And then there were the Latin American colonies of Spain. Inspired by the French Revolution, they too rose up against their colonial masters, sparking a series of revolutions that led to their independence. In fact, the ideals of the French Revolution permeated every continent, fueling struggles for independence and giving birth to new nations. Its impact was seen in the abolition of slavery, the rise of democracy, and the fight for human rights. Even today, the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity are ingrained in the constitutions of many nations. They are the cornerstones of modern democracies, the guiding lights of our societies. The French Revolution was not just a chapter in history. It was a catalyst for change, a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of the people. It was a revolution that didn't just change France, it changed the world. The ripple effects of the French Revolution can still be felt today. From the ashes of the old regime, a new world order rose, inspired by the ideals of liberty, equality, fraternity. The French Revolution was not just a historical event confined to the late 18th century, it was a seismic shift that forever altered the course of human history. The revolution's echoes reverberate to this day, in the heartbeats of revolutions that have followed, in the spirit of democracy that spans the globe, and in the unyielding pursuit of human rights. It was a time of darkness, yes, but it was also a time of extraordinary light, a beacon that continues to illuminate the path towards justice and freedom. The revolution didn't just change France, it changed the world. It redefined what a society could be and what the common man could aspire to. The French Revolution, a testament to the enduring power of the people and the ideals they fight for.